Kia ora, New Zealand. Welcome to Sweet Shane Live. My name's Matt Drake. This is episode 226, and I'm joined this evening by no one at all. It is just me. Obviously Morgan's on holiday, as you well know. He's on the other side of the world currently, and Arn has come down with man flu, I think, and is I think just sort of crying into his pillow. Pathetic, really, but there you go. He said he was going to help us out, and then he didn't. No. Get well soon, Arn. Get well soon. We need you back, and we actually definitely do need you back, because next week's episode is going to be a crackerjack. So more information on that a little bit later on. You're definitely going to want to be coming along to that one. So yeah, you've just got me for today. So as normal, when I'm on my own, I'll probably talk too fast. I'll probably go too quick and rattle through it, and you'll all be sat there going, "Whoa, slow down!" Right? So if it gets to that point, please feel free in the chat to say, slow down, Matt. All right, you're going too quick." I'll have Tom in my ear saying that anyway, so who knows? Anyway, we've got a great show today. Going to go through hot scores to begin with. Then we're going to be bringing on our guest tonight, Hayley Flintoft. Now, we haven't spoken to Hayley for some time, but tonight we're going to be talking about something that she approached us and said, "Hey, I've got something new I want to talk about," and we were so excited to hear about it. And so she's on to talk about that, and also that'll be free FPO / ladies champions legends of the game in 3 weeks. That's incredible. So we'll also get to hear from Hayley about her thoughts on the two ladies we had on the last 2 weeks as well. Then we're going to be going through last week's tournaments. So they had the Midwinter Classic on Saturday, Ashburton Open on Sunday, and then this weekend 2 more one-dayers. They come thick and fast. We've got the Rotorua Royale and the Disc Daddies present BDE down in Christchurch, which are the 2 sanctioned events going on. Plenty of other events going on, which we'll talk about a little bit later on as well. Disc Golf Valley, power rankings, and some information on next week's show, all to come. So sit back, relax, and I shall try and take it as slowly and as comfortably as I possibly can. Let's start with hot scores. We'll start off as we always do, bottom of the South Island, down in Invercargill, Queen's Park. Rob McNaughton and Joseph go 12 under par in Invercargill. Moving up to Chingford, Oscar Shepherd Morrison goes 6 down for the hot score this week, and Sean Aitken at Brockville goes 5 under par. Flight Park, no one played it this week. Queenstown Gardens, Stiffmeister went round in 13 under par once again. It's Jack at Lismore with 7 under, and Reed at Jelly Park with 9 under, who take out the hot scores in Wanaka and Christchurch, respectively. Cross to the other side of Christchurch, Bottle Lake, and Josh Mason hits 13 under par. Connor hits 13 under par as well, this time at Warren Park. And at Smallbone Reserve, it's a tie between Luke Darrell and Billy Roberts, who both hit 11 under par. Queen's Park Reserve, Jamie hits 7 down, and at Taylor River it's Darian 6 under, which is the hot score for the week. Up to Bramford Park, and Ben Cooper goes round in 13 under par. Up to the North Island, and starting off in the hills of Berhampore, Flavio Mayorga goes around in a 51 7 under par, and across the water at Hikoikoi, Ton P hits 6 under for a 21 on the foreshore. Up the valley to Harcourt, and Jacob hits 7 under par, which is a great score there. Across to Flaxmere, Jared Saw hits a 9 under par, and across the country to Spa Park Blacks. Spa Park Black. Taffy Karaitiana, I hope I pronounced that correctly, goes around Spa Park Black in +7. Across to Scion Tree Nursery and Forest is 2 under, and up to Auckland, Oscar 6 under. And Jackson Sullivan goes round Wood Hill on at 7 under par, and finally Lockie and Oscar both go round Rosedale in a score of 5 under. Also, a bit of a milestone has been hit this week. Congratulations to Jacob who went round Harcourt Park in 7 under par this week, he becomes the 500th different person who hits a hot score on Sweet Chain Live since records began. Since records began, listeners. That was when was that? That was, when did we start doing hot scores? Probably about episode 2 or 3. I don't think it was episode 1. About episode 2 or 3, I think we started doing hot scores. I'd have to go and have a check of that. But 500 unique people have got a hot score in that time. Were you one of them? Put a W in the chat if you are one of those people who has ever hit a hot score, and get your name ranked out. That's exactly what I'm doing now. Let us know if you're one of those people. It's a very, very select group. Producer Tom with the L. Unlucky. Right, now let's move on. We're going to bring in our guest for this evening. You know her, and we know her. She hasn't been on the show for a while, but it's great to welcome her back. Good evening, Hayley Flintoft.
Hi, Dave. It's nice to be here again.
How's it going? How are you? Long time?
Yeah, very good. Thank you. It has been a while. I actually can't remember the last time I was on, but it was a while ago.
It is a little bit, a little bit. So you reached out to us and said, "Hey, I want to talk to you about some stuff, about some new things that we've got going on." And we were like, "All right, this sounds interesting." And so so we got some stuff we want to talk to you about that's separate to this, about the state of women's disc golf in New Zealand and the world, etc., which we'll get your thoughts on. But also, what do you want to talk to us today about? What's the news?
So this is really exciting. Me and Kyle, well, at the moment, I'm setting up the foundations. The business is still really new, but it's official. Disc Golf Mind is now a business.
Okay.
So Disc Golf Mind, our kind of vision is to be a bridge between mental mastery and peak performance on the course. So I have been fascinated with hypnosis for about 25 years. And in the last 8 years, I've started studying it quite seriously. And so I finished a hypnosis certificate and a certificate in coaching and NLP, which is neuro-linguistic programming. And so I'm just starting to see clients now. And
Excellent.
I have recently released a 30-page ebook called Train Your Brain, Conquer Your Game. And it's about the foundations and principles about mental mastery for peak performance.
Okay. And that's solely focused on disc golf?
Yeah.
Excellent. So because we've often heard, right? I've often heard that, and I think this quote's from Jacko, like disc golf is 10%, like what did he say? Like it's 50% mental game and the other 50% is also mental game, or something like that. It's ridiculous how important the mental game is.
Well, I've got to say, like, I am proof of my own product. I have played casually probably less than 5 times in the last year, and I am playing the best I've ever played consistently at the moment.
Wow.
And I've been doing a lot of mental training, a lot of visualization, a lot of self-hypnosis. And yeah, I'm really excited. Like, Disc Golf Mind is my way of combining my passions and my purpose, because I want to teach people these really amazing skills, because hypnosis it's really clever language. It's brain science. It's understanding these trance states that we go in and out of many times a day. Like, have you guys ever been driving and you've zoned out and thought about something for a little while and then kind of realized you haven't even been paying attention, but you've been driving really safely?
Every single day when I drive
That's
anywhere.
that's hypnosis. When you're relaxed watching a movie, when you're reading a good book, that's all just trance states. And so hypnosis is really just the understanding about how these trance states work and how language works with the mind. And when you put these two together, you can actually change limiting beliefs. You can change the patterns of self-sabotage that happen on the course. Yeah, it's fascinating. I absolutely love it. And Disc Golf Mind is my way of putting disc golf and my passion about hypnosis and NLP together.
It sounds fascinating. Now, but I've got a question, right? Because there might be some people listening going, hypnosis.
I know.
I'm not too sure about that.
Yeah.
Right? That sounds like it might be a bit quack to me. And I know and might look at it as being a bit too sort of what's the word, when they see hypnosis as being one of those things where someone gets someone else up on stage and they get them to pretend to be a chicken or whatever, right? And it's all done in a bit silly and everyone laughs. And so how is what you're talking about different to the kind of, I don't know, how the hypnosis that is peddled as an entertainment form?
Thank you for asking that question. So it's really fascinating. When I first started to actually study hypnosis, I wanted to talk to everyone about it. And it was so fascinating. Just when I mentioned hypnosis, the walls that came up, people would just shut off straight away. Either people were like curious, or people were like, nah, don't even talk to me about it. And I have tossed up quite a lot in the last couple of years whether I even mention hypnosis in my business and my coaching, because there are ways to go about coaching where you can use the principles and not even mention hypnosis. Just purely because of those beliefs that people already have. And a lot of it comes through their only experiences through entertainment hypnosis. And it looks like people have lost control of themselves or doing things that they don't want to do. Entertainment hypnosis is actually quite fascinating when you learn the principles behind it and how they do it. So they have a very clever structure of how they get their volunteers up on stage. First, they volunteer. You know, these people are already up there. And then they go through a series of things where they figure out who's going to play along and who's not. And the cool thing is, though, is those people that are up on stage that have agreed to it and want to follow along, they actually do really get hypnotized. It's amazing how they won't remember any of it till the end. But the cool thing is it's not taking over control of somebody else. It's sometimes people are like, oh, I've got too much self-control or too much willpower to be hypnotized. But it's the people with really strong willpower that once they understand what it is, then they're the ones that can actually go into a hypnotic trance really easily because they have focus, they have imagination. So yeah, it's really fascinating. And half of the thing about being a hypnotist is demystifying hypnosis to people.
Because I guess it's kind of similar, because like, so my personal background is not anywhere near hypnosis, but it's I don't say that disparagingly. What I mean is that I don't pretend to know anything about it, but my background was in coaching and development, particularly in a sort of corporate environment, right? And I guess in a similar way, the person who is the recipient of the coaching, or in your case, the recipient of the hypnosis, needs to be in a mind state of, I want to do this. You know, I want to be helped, or I want to be coached, or I want to be in this process, in order for it to actually have an effect, right? Because I've coached people in the past who have been like, I don't need your coaching. I'm perfectly well doing what I'm doing at the moment. Thanks. My sales are really good. I don't need your coaching. I've had those exact people. So I think I can empathize on that element of it.
I mean, if you get somebody into a really deep trance and you say one thing to them that goes against their beliefs and their perceptions and that they don't agree with, they're going to pop out of the trance straight away. And a lot of the times people in hypnosis, they're aware of the whole thing. A lot of people, I've had people come to me for sessions that have said straight off the bat, I don't think I can be hypnotized. And so they already have that belief. And also they come in with this experience that it's going to be something else, when most of the time they're completely aware of everything that goes on. And also, so what I'm doing with the coaching at the moment is going more down the lines of the neuro-linguistic programming, which is kind of a branch off from hypnosis. I mean, it's all based around the same thing, but neuro-linguistic programming is more based around really intelligent language rather than actual induction trance states. with NLP, I don't have to formally do hypnosis with anyone, but it is using the modalities of how we experience reality with our senses and just making small shifts. I call them thought experiments, actually, and making small shifts to change the neurology in the mind.
So is your disc golf mind project then? Is it a kind of a off the shelf product that you then deliver with people on an individual basis, or is it something that's a little bit more tailored to each person depending on their mindset, their previous experience, perhaps, and other things?
The one-on-one coaching that I'm doing is definitely tailored to the individual. So at the moment, I'm offering 3 sessions over about 3 weeks. Very limited at the moment because my son hasn't started school yet. And that is getting to understand the patterns where self-sabotage turns up on the course and figuring out, what the patterns are. We run from that, and then we use neuro-linguistic programming in the second session to help either get rid of limiting beliefs or parts integration, where you've got conflicting parts going on, or emotional release techniques, where emotions need to be let go of.
Talk us a little bit through what self-sabotage is. I'd like to try and get people to be thinking what, to describe it for us in a way that other people might be able to sit there and go, actually, yeah, I felt that before, or I can recall that on this hole this happened, whatever. So when you say self-sabotage, what do you mean by that, and how can people recognize when it's happened?
So many different ways. So like when you get out and go play a tournament, you've been practicing, you go play a tournament, and all of a sudden nerves kick up and you can't shake it, and you can't seem to use that energy. Or say you have a unlucky or a bad hole and you can't seem to shake off that. It just keeps replaying. Or getting the yips when you're putting. It's quite a big one. The brain kicks into almost fight or flight and the hand starts freezing up. And that's why the one-on-one coaching is over 3 weeks, because half it is finding what is going on with that person. That's why it is a very individual thing. I am also offering 1-hour self-hypnosis lessons to teach people the basic principles of self-hypnosis, so that, because once you learn that, you can actually attack anything in your life, any obstacle, any challenge.
So in the outside of entertainment hypnosis, I've also heard of hypnosis being used to, like, I don't know if cure's the right word, but like to treat is perhaps a better word. For example, alcoholism, or something similar, like an addiction. And so it's used to kind of as a form of kind of treatment for that. But it's always in a situation, I guess, or I've always assumed it's been in a situation where you're maybe sat with someone who hypnotizes you. They then say some things which, over a period of time, given repeated sessions, it kind of sinks in and behaviors change and whatever. I don't know if I'm completely kind of off the mark, or I'm simplifying it, or not doing it a disservice there at all. So the idea of self-hypnosis, where you can put yourself into that state and then resolve situations yourself with no outside. Talk us through what's going on there, because I'm not entirely clear on it myself. What am I missing?
Okay, so I'll clear up a couple of things. A really good hypnosis session can do all of that in one go. The treatments, the stuff like that. Hypnosis really shines with pain management, Okay. And I actually know a hypnotist in the UK who actually helps people with chronic pain, which is apparently untreatable. And he's got an amazing track record, old fella, and he's beautiful. So with self-hypnosis, yes, a really good hypnosis session will actually make big shifts in one go.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes two. What I've found with the self-hypnosis, because I do self-hypnosis most nights, because I have these tools, and why not? I'm going to sleep anyway. I'm lying down and relaxing. I might as well work on something, give my brain something to work on.
Mm-hmm.
So, and understanding self-hypnosis is like being a conscious captain of your own ship. This is a ship, and your unconscious is the boat and the crew and the cat and all of that, and the conscious mind is the captain. And you
Mm-hmm.
can be a bad captain and just let your ship float, or you can be a conscious captain and give your ship clear directions on where you want it to go.
Okay.
Because that's one of the biggest things, is actually knowing what you want and knowing what you want to work on. And once you learn self-hypnosis, what you can actually do with it is really just limited to your own imagination.
So when you're in this
Faster.
state of self-hypnosis, is that like is it like being like asleep or unconscious or just in a meditative state? What's it? How would you best describe it?
So I do a little bit of meditation as well. And I've found that meditation and hypnosis feel very similar.
Okay.
So what I understand of meditation is that meditation is the purpose of clearing your mind to just be in the moment. Hypnosis is using the same state with a clear, direct purpose on what your unconscious mind wants to work on. Because your unconscious mind can compute things a whole lot faster than your conscious mind can. Like, how many times have you guys had a problem and you just try and think your way out of it and you just can't?
Mm-hmm.
Well, sometimes it's best to just give your unconscious mind real positive suggestions and get your unconscious mind to work on it. A good example is the fact that after I had Sylvan, I'd put on like 25 kg, I think the maximum amount I was probably supposed to. And so I had 25 kg of extra baby weight. And rather than change what I ate or do anything else, I just consistently reminded myself what my ideal weight was and left it up to my unconscious mind. Because
And then your unconscious mind affected or changed your kind of hunger levels and your desire to do exercise. Is that what happened after
weight's a
that?
really fascinating one, because it's survival. Your unconscious mind just wants to maintain weight. It wants to maintain it. And unless it's actually getting clear direction on what that ideal weight is, it'll just try and maintain. It's a survival thing. So when you are constantly giving yourself clear and positive, it's got to be in the positive direction, your unconscious mind starts to tune the reticular activating system to look for ways in your life to help you achieve that.
Okay. All right. So it changes your behaviors, although you may not be,
Not aware of
entirely
it.
sure of
Yeah.
aware is it? Yeah, it's a good word of exactly what those behavioral changes are. It's making these subtle changes, which then have the knock-on effect of what you're desiring. Yeah. Okay. Sweet. Okay. I think I've got it. It sounds fascinating, and it actually
Yeah.
sounds like there's again, it might be one of those things that people may not think that they need it, but actually would be really useful for them. I don't know
Well,
if you've come across that in
eventually, so our plan is in the next maybe 2 to 3 years, we would like
Mhm.
to create an app
Mhm.
which actually has the trainings, the simplified lessons, and mental journaling, so that you can go in and be like, sweet, this is where I'm at. These are the problems I've got going on. These are some basic principles. And because I mean, one of the ways about mental training is, how do you even track that? We've got stats for everything: C1, C2, putting,
Mhm.
PBs, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So to actually track your mental progression, you need to journal it. You need to figure
Yeah.
out
I
where
mean,
you're at, what's going
there's
on.
so much bias there as well, right? Like unconscious bias as well.
Yeah.
That even mental journaling makes it very difficult, I think. to kind of get an accurate picture of what's going on. So that sounds like it'd be really interesting. So that's down the line.
That's down the line.
You're kind of you're offering now, if this is, if people are sat there going, oh well, this sounds quite interesting actually, what's the offering now? What should people do? What's
Well, at the moment, so on the Facebook page, like I'm also working on the website at the moment. On the Facebook page, you can get at the top of the Facebook page on Disc Golf Mind is the link to buy the ebook, 16 pages long. It's set up like a 9-hole course, and that gives you the basic principles. So, and it's only $16. It's less than the price of a disc. Easy.
Lovely.
And then, so I'm offering the 1-hour self-hypnosis course and the coaching. The coaching is very limited at the moment, though, just timing wise. Next year, I plan to start actually taking on more clients when my son starts school. And also, we're going to start incorporating a technology called bioadaptive impulse therapy. So this is more for recovery. I have had quite a few treatments myself, and it's helped with repetitive strain injury. It's helped me with, I broke my neck in 4 places in 2011 and got a winged scapula from it. So it's helped me with some niggles from that. And once we get the funding, we're going to incorporate that into Disc Golf Mind so we can travel and take that to tournaments and offer sports injury related recovery sessions as well.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So that's kind of a two-ended solution then. You put get the mindset going right before the round, and then you've got the kind of physical recovery.
Well, it's also a good way for me to actually start talking to people about the mental side of disc golf. Because not everyone, I say hypnosis and a lot of people are like, nah. But it is just really clever language, and it's how the language works with the brain. And a lot of it is brain science. Like I've learned a lot of brain science in studying this.
It sounds fascinating, and it's something which I think if there's people sat out there going, oh, no, I don't agree with this, it sounds daft. I'd say just hold your horse for a moment and just give it a little bit of thought first before dismissing it, if that's the way that people want to go. But I mean, I would say give it some thought, and also catch up with you, right, and talk to you about it, because it sounds like you're very passionate about it. I think that's fairly obvious. But also it sounds like you've done a hell of a lot of work and research and qualifications in this. So I mean, you know what you're talking about, right? So I mean, if people want to get in touch and want to find out more, what do they do?
The best thing to do would be to go through the Disc Golf Mind page. Like there's a lot of information just through the posts that I put up on Disc Golf Mind.
Yep.
I have started just wrapping my head around content creation and that side of it as well. So I'll be putting up more reels and stuff soon. And
excellent. And they can message you through Facebook on the Disc Golf Mind page, and that will come straight through to you. Excellent.
Or just message me personally. I will talk about this till the cows come home. I love it.
Excellent, because you've got a few tournaments coming up this side of Christmas. So you've got Blood Sacrifice in a couple of weeks' time at the Confluence, and you're playing in GCO in November as well.
Yeah, and hopefully we plan on getting to Moonbase and Wahitapu.
Excellent. So you'll be meeting people there. So if you're a little bit unsure, if you're completely dead against, or if you're really keen, either one of those state of minds, please go and talk to Hayley at one of those events.
Please do. I will quite happily talk to.
She'll give you more information. Now, last couple of weeks we've had Alison and Sarah on the show. And so what do you think of their exploits over the last few months then?
I am so proud of those two. They it's so good. Like Sarah winning her 3rd world champs, and then we got to watch. I was watching Alison's scores on the day and saw her go to the playoff, and then Paul Wadsworth put up on the Vortica thread that he was live streaming it. We got to watch it live. I had tears in my eyes a little bit. It was so good to watch. Yeah, no, I can't wait to see both of them and congratulate them. They're both so amazing.
It's really interesting because Alison is rated about the same as you currently,
A little bit higher,
and yeah, a couple of points, but you're very, very closely ranked in the power rankings, Sweet Chain power rankings, incredibly close. In some far that, you know, if one of you wins a tournament that the other one's not playing in, you're likely to leapfrog each other, you know, of that. And so it's incredibly close between you two at the top. So when Alison said, "Oh, I'm moving to FPO," I think that's great because we're going to start seeing you taking on Alison in more battles
Yeah, I
and
look
at
forward
the
to
top of
it.
FPO, and that's going to be fantastic to watch.
It's so good. I've told so many people, Alison moving to FPO has made me a better player. Like, to have somebody to have such close battles with, you can't practice that anywhere.
No.
No,
You need
unless you
it.
actually have them.
It's the way people get better, right? Is to play against people who are at the same level but are capable of beating you on any one day, right? And that's the way.
Oh, and she's a fantastic competitor too. Like, her just demeanor and her attitude, she's lovely to play with and so skilled. It's so beautiful to watch. No, it's fantastic.
You're going to be going up against each other, I think, probably at other places as well, but at GCO, where it's actually the field for GCO looks real strong because Michelle's in the mix as well. So it's going to be a real battle at that event. You'll probably come up against her in other events that you mentioned, Wahitapu and what was the other one you mentioned that you were going to try and get to? Moonbase. And so but GCO, I'm looking forward to seeing the results of that and how that one goes. It's a real stacked field in FPO, which I think is great because for too long you were kind of on your own. Do you know what I mean? Like for a number of years after Gemma stopped playing, you were kind of on your own and at the top of the game, and it's fantastic to see more people competing.
I had to play an MA1 when I was like 8.5 months pregnant because there was no other FPO ladies.
That's right. Yeah, I remember that. So I think it's fantastic that there's far more ladies coming through and getting into the FPO division. It's brilliant.
Yeah, it's so good.
Brilliant.
The progression that's going on in the female division in New Zealand, like the FA1 girls. I got to play with the FA1 girls at Tucker's and got to watch their battle. It was so exciting.
Yeah,
and so it's really good to see as well, just the battles going on in the division.
Because they're the FPO players for 2 or 3 years time, right? So it's real important that they're kind of kept engaged and they've got those battles and they see the progression and see the ability to keep going. It's fantastic. Right, now what we're going to do is we're going to chuck the link to Disc Golf Mind into the chat, at least the Facebook page, so that people can go over there and see it. I would encourage everybody to go and have a look, have a read about some of the articles and some of the posts that are on there. Keep an open mind, because I think it is, you touched on it, Hayley, it is one of those things where people can have a tendency to perhaps shut off at a word or two that might trigger them, but people don't allow that to happen. Go in with an open mind, and I think you might be surprised. It looks fascinating. I'd like to talk to you a little bit more about it when we're face to face next. And so I think it sounds great. And look, very best of luck with it. It sounds it sounds like there's a real kind of niche, not just in New Zealand, but in the sport for something like this. I hear a lot of other sports. I'm thinking football comes to mind because that was the original kind of sport that I grew up watching and to a lesser extent playing. And you hear about sports psychologists in that sport and in other pro sports having such a big impact these days in the progression of people. And so to have something like this in the in the disc golf space, especially from someone that people will be aware of, people know, you know, people will know who you are, and they'll know that you're a pretty good disc golfer, right? So like it's it's not you're coming from a place of authority. I think it's great. So yeah, very
Thank
best
you.
of luck. Very best of luck.
I really appreciate that, and thank you guys for having me on here again.
No, all good. I'm sure we will speak to you again. If you take down GCO in over that field, then there's a very strong chance we'll be giving you a call. So yeah, very best of luck with your on-field exploits as well. And
Yeah,
yeah, we'll see you again very soon. Thank you so much.
yeah, cool. Thank you very much, team. You guys have a good night.
All right, cheers, Hayley. Bye bye. Oh, so there we go. So make sure that you head over to Disc Golf Mind on Facebook, give them a follow, give them a like. Whilst we're in the liking mood, why don't you give this video a like right now? I'll give you just a couple of seconds to do it before I move on, because I want to give you a chance. Have you done it? Have you? Okay, good. Right, we'll carry on. No, anyway, if you haven't already, also hit the subscribe button, because it makes a massive difference to us. It means that we can run giveaways, and we've got our next giveaway coming up next week. Arn said to us during the week, I got some cracking prize. And then he said, I'm not feeling very well. And we thought, well, hold it. We can't do the giveaway without the prizes that he's talked about. So we're going to wait till next week. Hopefully that's all right with everybody. We do have a bit of a special episode coming up next week as well. So it's going to be a bit of a bumper episode next week. Going to be a lot of fun. And actually, we're going to need your help, because next week's episode sees the return of the Sweet Chain quiz. Now, it's the big quiz where we ask you questions on. This isn't on the courses and the different areas of the country that play disc golf. We did that earlier in the year with the UDisc. This is about playing data. Okay, who are the best players? What kind of scores have they got? But this year we've got some. We can go a bit deeper into some of the questions, and it's going to be a good one. We're going to be looking at birdie percentages. We're going to be looking at birdie streaks. We're going to be looking at longest aces. We're going to be looking at round results, all that kind of stuff. Okay, stats, indeed, Brett, stats. Now, but we are a bit stuck, because Morgan, who I think is in the chat, is still going to be away. I don't know how he's managed to wangle like 4 weeks off, but anyway, he's still going to be away in for next week's show. And Arn's going to be here. Now, Arn would normally be the question setter in his local quiz, but this week, the tables will have turned, and he's going to be the one answering the questions from myself. And we need someone to go up against him. So we're looking at you, people watching this. Do you want to go up against Arn live on the stream? If you do, we'd love to have anybody who's keen on. Now, there will be the possibility. We're still working through the exact way in which it's going to work, to play along at home, rather similar to how we did it last year. If you remember, I forget what episode it'll be. A bit about 180 something. We did a quiz last year, and that and that had you could vote through the comments as to what you thought the answers were, and it collated them all up and gave you scores and stuff. But if you want to go, if you want to be a live quiz captain on the show up against Arn Burgess next week, then give us a shout, because we'd love to have you on the show. Or if you can think of anybody who you think might make a good quiz captain, then put their name in the comments. Who would you like to see go up and potentially embarrass Mr. Burgess in the quiz stakes? Who knows their stats very well, and who can tell us who do you think would be a good candidate for going up? Oh, there we are. Brett Carl or Kelvin Cummings have been volunteered. We shall have to see if either of those get the nod. But anyway, that's next week, and we'll have a giveaway next week as well. So you're going to want to tune in. Now, last week there was 2 events that were played, 2 one-day tournaments. We're going to start with the Midwinter Classic that was played in Dunedin last week. And in MPO, Levi Stout beats Jack Maffey on a playoff, right? So this is incredible, right? This is the first time that anybody's got close to Levi in quite some time. I'd have to have a look through the results to see exactly how. Now, Levi played below his rating by about 30 odd points below, nearly 40 odd points below his rating. But let's not take anything away from Jack Maffey's play. He played 20 points above his rating, beats Francis and the rest of the field, and almost beats Levi into second place, which would have been an incredible result for him. As it is, Levi wins by getting an eagle on the playoff hole, whereas Jack Maffey could only, could only get the birdie. Managed to snag the birdie, but in this case, it wasn't quite enough. Francis completes the podium in MPO. In FPO, Alison Tweedy wins with a score of 20 under par. And an average round rating of 906, which is very good. Wins over Nicholas Stout in second. In MA1, Connor Bishop wins over a tie between Jens Muller and Chris Pooley. And in FA1, Hannah Joint wins by 2 strokes over Sue Brown. Josh Ratcliffe takes out MA3 by 10 strokes, including a 948 rated round 1. Incredible for MA3, so well done to him. Grayson Heen and Ben Young in second and third, respectively. And Jessica Brown is the winner in FA3. Now, so just to let you know, when we have a look at the power rankings a little bit later, there's been some movement. And the fact that Jack has tied with Levi has had an effect on the power rankings, which we'll see a little bit later on. So an incredible result out of Dunedin, and we'll have to see how that plays out for the rest of Levi's season and how that affects him going into the spring season. Next up was the Ashburton Disc Golf Open. This was played on Sunday, just gone. And the winner here was Andrew Popham, who beats out the Hunter brothers into second and third, respectively. Wins by 2 strokes, which he took out in round 2. Over Daniel Hunter and then Jamie Hunter. In MP40, Andrew Inch wins by 6 shots over Jason Ormandy. MA1, Bailey Gardner takes out the spoils here with a 13 under par. A 991 rated round 2 from Bailey. Incredible result from the young man. Beats out Billy Roberts and Dwan Fisher in third place. Amanda Hooper wins comfortably in FA1 with a strong 906 rated first round. Kurt Graham is the champion of MA40, sorry, by 2 strokes over Mark Paku and then a bunch of people in third. FA40, Tanya Thompson takes out the win here by 6 strokes, and Andrew Faulkner, that's Seb's dad, Andrew Faulkner, wins with a 940 rated round 1 in MA50. Absolute scenes down in Ashburton. Deborah Hunter in FA50. MA60 was Robin Halls to take home. So congratulations to him. Donna Cormack in FA60 and Aaron Corley in MA2 wins by 4 strokes. A 967 rated round 2 from Aaron there. Great to see. Ashley Smith in FA2 and Edmund Hilder in MA3 wins by 1 stroke over Daniel Fisher. And Ben Bolton in MA4 wins by 2 strokes over Simon Chisnell, Joshua Breton in third. Alicia Maybe wins FA4. Chloe Graham in FJ12. Tamati Graham in MJ15. Mackenzie Craig and Mason LeBreton in the juniors. So some real strong disc golf being played down in Ashburton. Now, this weekend, we've got 2 events that are that are live. We've got the Rotorua Royale, and what we're on now is we'll have a quick look at the tipping for the Rotorua Royale. Josh Pratt is the favourite at odds of 5.2 going into the event. Anthony Rogers and Marlo Bowyer both at 8. Zach Armour at 11 and bar. If we further down to FA1, Hannah Edmonds is the odds-on favourite here, ranked 8th in the country, going in 1.9 over Charlotte Dunkley at 2.4. Hayden Shaw is the favourite in MA40, narrow favourite over Ryan Kiddo, but it's going to be those two probably battling it out in Rotorua. A bit further down, FA40, Fiona Ming-Menzies and Laura Backer tied at 2.2. They're probably going to be battling out for the win in FA40. Matt Stowell looks to be the favourite going in to MA2. Yu Zhang in FA2 and Ryan Lowens is the favourite in MA3, although this is an incredibly difficult division to call. Everybody's pretty similarly rated here. Could be one of about 7 or 8 players taking out the win in MA3. And in FA3, again, it's pretty tight between the top 4 in FA3. So yeah. You'll notice that the ability to see other people's bets has been taken away. We have entered the final final month, of the competition, and we'll be processing the monthly stipend tomorrow morning. So everybody will be getting the monthly stipend. And I think, although I'll have to check, I'm not sure we did it in August because we were away. I was abroad at the time, so we'll chuck in August as well. So everybody will be getting 1,000 coins tomorrow, which they'll be then able to put on any bets for this and the rest of this month's events. And I think we said there was like 7 events this month alone. And so we'll see who's leading the tipping standings in a moment after going through the Disc Daddies odds. But you'll be able to, but you'll have plenty of opportunity to get yourself up to the top of the leaderboard. The Disc Daddies present BDE. Dwan Fisher is the favourite in MA1 over Isaac Sasanuma Howard and Jay Puki Puki, in 3rd place. It's going to be quite an interesting division, actually, because I think on their day, any one of the top perhaps 6 players there could take out the win. Sarah Wadsworth is competing in FA1. MA40, Mark Paku is the favourite here over Clinton Naho. And Simon McKay will probably have something to say in the top 3 as well. Harriata Naho in FA40 and Andrew Faulkner looks to make it back-to-back in MA50 over Patrick Spenner, and Rick Stevens will be doing their best to prevent that from happening. Donna Cormack, FA60, Donald Booth, MA70, and Stephen Kelly is the favourite heading into MA2 with a fairly short odds of 3.6. Ashley Poi Poi, who I think took 2nd last week, will be looking to came 3rd, in MA3 last week, so we'll be looking to avenge that 3rd place this week in Christchurch. Caitlin Bogova in FA2 and Brandon Thompson is the favourite going into MA3. Alexandra Luafutu in FA3 and Josh LeBreton looks to again do 2 better from his 3rd place in MA4 at Ashburton, and is the favourite going into the Disc Daddies. Ross Evans, who he beat out by 3 strokes, will be his closest competitor there. In FA4, Emma Payton and Morgan Lee are the closest pairing here. The team can't split them to decide who's going to take the win there. Now, before we go and play some Disc Duel, let's just have a quick look at the season leaderboard for the tipping, just to check that just to see who is leading the way. Owen Pratt has got the lead. Over Owen Pratt, sorry, when it's loaded for me, has got the lead over Jeff Lewis. Madone Tweedy in third, all pretty close. This season is very, very close. In past seasons, perhaps one or two people have been running away with it, but really, any of the top four are in it, and anybody else is probably still in it, given the number of events that we've got and the relative balances of those people at the top. So it's currently a kind of a 4-horse race between Owen, Jeff, Madone, and Josh Pratt. So we'll see how everybody goes there. Very best of luck if you're tipping this weekend. Right, let's play some Distal. I feel like producer Tom, we need a little ditty music there. Do you know what I mean? Like, let's play some Distal. Anyway, right, let's start with what's this? Fuse. Let's go with a fuse. Right, chat, I need your help because and we don't have chat on the screen, which is going to okay, all right. So let's go with no, it's slower than a fuse, so it's not a beast, but it's let's go with a pig. That's slower than a fuse. It's more stable and it's Innova, so it's not latitude. So let's see how close we get here. Oh, this is not bad. 4-speed Innova. Come on, everyone. You know these 4-speed Innova. Lots more turn, a little bit less fade. So we need a bit obviously more glide than a pig. So we need a 4-speed. Let's go with is a Mako. Is that a 4-speed? Mako 3. That was a 5-speed. Okay. And it's not really helped. No, I thought it was an 01 at the end. No, we don't need to reveal a hint because it'll only tell us, it won't tell us anything, I don't think. It's an Innova disc that is a speed 4. Its glide is between 1 and it's a 2 or 3 or 4 glide. Its turn is -2 or -3. A rock, Brett Carlisle says, potentially. Yeah, let's go regular rock. Like it. Okay, 4 it's a 0-3, so that's a 0-3 that's let us down there. So like, come on, people, lots of people throw Innova mid-ranges. What's going on? What's going on? Innova mid-range. A kind of it needs to be, what do you reckon? Speed 4? Let's go with let's try a shark. Oh, okay. Something old school, Brett reckons. So it's 4. We know it's 4. It's less than 4 glide. Cobra? Oh, don't know. No, it's less than 4 glide, and a Cobra is slightly more. Let's go with a Toro. Yeah. Oh, is it? Oh, okay. Go on then. A wolf. Wow. I don't even think I've heard of a wolf. Wow. Okay, that's an interesting. All right, that's a new one for me. Who's thrown a wolf? Put a W in the chat if you've ever thrown a wolf. That's a new one for me. Right, let's have a quick look over at disc golf value. We have a few players this week. We've had a card of players this week, and the winner is Kelvin. That's 6 under par. So very well done. Kelvin beats Brett. It beats out Brett by 2 strokes. Yeah, by 2 strokes there. So well done to Kelvin. And finally, let's have a look at the power rankings and how they've changed since Midwinter Classic and the Ashburton Open. So Hannah Joint has moved up 2 spots to 15th, and Laura Backer has moved up 11 spots to 18th. Otherwise, no change at the top. And we can expect this weekend to see Sarah Wadsworth playing. Hannah Edmonds is also in action this weekend, so we shall see if there's any movement there. And in the men's division, Jack Maffey moves up 6 spots to 4th following his tie with Levi. So the way in which the power rankings are discerned is that they base it on the average rating of the tournament. So they will consider Levi and Jack to have tied, not that Levi's won on a playoff. So that's why Jack has moved up quite a bit, right? Because he's tied with the player who's top by a long way. Andrew Popham's victory at Ashburton has moved him up 1 spot into 5th. Bailey Gardner has moved up 36 spots to 22. Incredible jump from him. Andrew Faulkner, North Island Andrew Faulkner, has moved up 72 spaces to 121. And elsewhere, Billy Roberts up 22 to 27. Dmitry Sabatov is up 23 to 60. Last things to talk about. If you're in Wellington this weekend, make sure that you get along to the Hikoikoi / Pool Crescent fundraiser, which they've got on there. So it's a flex start. You're going to be playing. You can either play, I think it's the front 9 and then the back 9 at Hikoikoi, or some alternative tee pads, which have been proposed as well. So these are alternative tee pads, alternative tees for to just mix up the course a little bit, I think is the idea. So get along to that. And then Pool Crescent Reserve also on the Sunday. There's it's a flex start for all day, some exciting events going on. So so make sure that you get down to that. And very best of luck if you're playing in the Rotorua Royale, or if you're playing in the Disc Daddies Present BDE this weekend, and wherever you're playing disc golf. Take it easy, play well, get some birdies, and we'll see you next week for a quiz. Cheers.